Welcome to the History of North America. I'm Mark Vinette. Throughout this series, you have often heard me say the following. Check out the YouTube version of this episode, which has accompanying visuals, including maps, charts, timelines, photos, illustrations, and diagrams. Let me tell you a bit more about the channel that presents the videos of each episode in our series. The YouTube channel's name is Timeline, and its tagline is The Fascinating Chronology of Events from the Big Bang to Modern Human History. You can find the direct link to the channel in the show notes or at my website, markvinette.com. The channel consists of 4 history video series. The first is History of North America, which, as you know, presents each podcast episode in video format with images. The second is the eponymous Timeline series of videos, which is an exhilarating journey all the way back to the scientific view of creation. In order to understand the human experience, Timeline attempts to voyage back to the beginning of time and trace the incidents that set in motion a series of events that help explain the world we now live in. This fascinating historical and scientific journey follows an unpredictable path of exciting epochs, including the Big Bang, the creation of our solar system, the formation of Earth, the first appearance of life, the dinosaurs, the evolution of humans, the first civilizations, and modern history. As mentioned, Timeline is a journey back to the scientific view of creation. Each video edition explores an episode in this tumultuous yet incredible voyage through time and space, while tracing the influence and importance of key events that in turn set the scene for our modern species and the great human struggle to survive. Titans of History is the channel's 3rd video series, which presents the incredible people and events that shape the course of history. In order to better understand the modern human experience, Titans of History presents short videos that voyage back to the beginning of human experience and traces the incidents that set in motion a series of pivotal events that help explain the world we now live in. This fascinating educational, historical, and scientific journey follows an unpredictable path of exciting epochs and exhilarating personalities. Each video edition explores an episode in this wild, yet wonderful voyage through time, while tracing the influence and importance of key events that in turn set the scene for our modern species and the great human struggle to evolve, adapt, survive, and flourish. Celebrating the words of history, Titans of History explores and illuminates the fascinating people such as Napoleon, Shakespeare, Abraham Lincoln, John Lennon, and incredible places and events including great battles, pivotal elections, Ivy League schools, sporting competitions, prestigious museums, and inventors that shaped, influenced, and changed the course of human history. Here's a popular audio sample of the eclectic topics to be found on the Timeline video channel about the legendary 19th century Chicago conflagration. This edition of Titans of History presents the Great Chicago Fire of 1871 and Mrs. O'Leary's cow. Catherine O'Leary was an Irish immigrant living in the state of Illinois who became famous when it was alleged that an accident involving her cow had started the Great Chicago Fire of 1871. On the evening of October 8th, a fire consumed the O'Leary family's barn. Due to high winds and dry conditions, the fire spread and burned a large percentage of the city. After the Great Fire, a Chicago reporter wrote that the fire had started when a cow kicked over a lantern while it was being milked. The woman was not named, but Catherine O'Leary was soon identified, as the fire had begun in her barn. This story sparked the popular imagination and continued to be widely circulated even after the reporter admitted inventing the story years later. Caricatures and illustrations soon appeared depicting Mrs. O'Leary with the cow, and people began singing a parody to the minstrel song, "There'll be a hot time in the old town tonight." Late one night, when we were all in bed, old Mother Leary left the lantern in the shed, and when the cow kicked it over, she winked her eye and said, "There'll be a hot time in the old town tonight." We hope you have enjoyed this presentation and look forward to sharing history with you again soon. Here's another fun audio sample of a video featuring the great Walt Disney and an American president you may remember. This edition of Titans of History presents Walt Disney's Disneyland Opening Day dedication speech. After years of planning, Walt Disney's very first theme park, Disneyland, in Anaheim, California, opened its gates in July 1955. Television crews, celebrities, the Mouseketeers, and over 28,000 guests witnessed the opening of Walt's ambitious dream. Broadcast on ABC to over 90 million viewers, it was the biggest and most complex live telecast to date. The 160-acre park offered 5 themed lands with a total of 18 attractions. Disneyland opened as invitation only on this day for studio workers, construction workers, the press, and officials of company sponsors. The park opened to the general public the following day. Actor Ronald Reagan, who would later become the 40th President of the United States, introduced 53-year-old Walt Disney saying, "And now, Walt Disney will step forward to read the dedication of Disneyland." Walt christened his new park with these now famous words, "To all who come to this happy place, welcome. Disneyland is your land. Here, age relives fond memories of the past, and here, youth may savor the challenge and promise of the future. Disneyland is dedicated to the ideals, the dreams, and the hard facts that have created America, with the hope that it will be a source of joy and inspiration to all the world." We hope you have enjoyed this presentation and look forward to sharing history with you again soon. The fourth and final video series on the channel are introductions to each of my books of historical fiction. The 10-volume set is presented in 10 short synoptic videos, highlighting each adventure through time and history. I am the author of Denari Novels, a series of exciting international historical thrillers. When joining our History of North America Patreon group, you will receive as a welcome gift Volume 1 of this 10-book series, as well as many other membership benefits. This ebook gift, titled The Maesta Panels, is a scintillating page-turner about family, greed, and intrigue, where Da Vinci Code meets Mission Impossible in this fascinating murder mystery and suspense caper. Embark on an incredible journey from New York City's Empire State Building to northern Italy in the search for religious art treasures that have been lost for centuries. The Maesta Panels. American investigator David Wade and his global team of fascinating experts, Denari, crisscross the Italian jewel cities of Milan, Siena, Bologna, Padua, and Florence in Tuscany on a dangerous mission to solve an early Renaissance enigma amidst violence, betrayal, and witchcraft. Beautiful fashion designer Julia Cartier is also caught up in the action and determined to help solve the puzzle of the missing masterpieces. This fast-paced adventure turns back the clock to the year 1302, a world on the brink of rebirth, a renaissance in ideas, art, and architecture, led by the masters Duccio and Giotto, in the lands of Michelangelo, Raphael, Leonardo, Botticelli, Brunelleschi, Medici, Galileo, Dante, Borgia, Machiavelli, and Christopher Columbus. Join my worldwide readers, book clubs, and virtual reading groups who have selected Denari novels. Check out our different Patreon membership levels at patreon.com/markvinet or markvinet.com and receive your gift when joining our group of enthusiastic historical adventurers. I'm Mark Vinet, and thanks for joining me. It's always nice to have your company.